I do referrals and marketing for house and land packages, James, and with your guys' help, I pretty much rely on you guys to do all the marketing side of things. So it makes my life easy. So I get leads in from you, calls are qualified, and off I go, and I get packages from builders. So pretty easy business model and works well for me.
Perfect. Yeah, it's first home buyers and investors, right? That's the main target audiences.
Correct. Yeah, with the grants, we have had a lot more owner occupiers in the market over the last 6 months, but predominantly, investors and all sorts of buyers really.
Perfect. And I know you were doing some different things from a marketing perspective before you started working with us. What were you worried about, and ultimately what made you move ahead with working with us?
Yeah, look, initially financially, as I started, it was just the initial capital to start. So I started on my own with the view to I think I told you when I get that first comms in, I'll start up with you. But look, I learned the hard way. I started doing my own Facebook marketing through another person. But I was getting heaps of leads through, of course, but especially when grants and things are around. It's easy to get your leads in, but the quality of the leads weren't that great, and I had to sit there and call every single one. So I was too busy calling and recalling and doing all that kind of stuff instead of getting in front of clients. So by having quality leads that come in that are already qualified, and I don't have to spend as much time ringing around. I pretty much get more time per client, you could say, per quality client, to then be able to close a deal, and then therefore then get in front of them to have meetings, show them land, show them houses and displays, or finished products. And so I found that in that first few months of doing my own stuff, until I got to the stage where I go, yep, James, we'll start with you. There was just a lot of churn, a lot of phone calls, and a lot of insanity in our household, as my wife puts it. So I knew that wasn't a model that was going to be long term. It was just a means to an end to get started. But yeah, having done that was really good, because I could see what it was like on the other side. There's many companies out there that I saw advertising through Facebook. We can get you so many leads, or the cost of the lead is this much. But I guess you set it differently, in that you actually do the whole gambit. So you do the target the right people. You look after all of that. So I don't have to do my own infographics or anything like that. You look after all of that. We obviously got to have a good product to sell, and then you look after the leads coming in, optimize the ads on a daily, weekly basis, and then and then from there, there's all the calls are done, and then I just have to do my bit, which is what I'm good at, which is the selling bit. So getting in front of people, helping first home buyers who have no idea about what they're doing, giving them products that will tailor-made to suit them, or investors as well. So that's where I've really enjoyed it, because it's actually given me more time to do what I enjoy and what I'm good at. So I've left the bits that I'm not so good at to the likes of you and your team, and that's where I've sort of prospered, I suppose, through doing that.
It's all about leveraging your time and focusing on what you do well, and then outsourcing other things to people who are really good at that, because you can't be good at everything, I always say. Cool. So we're in our 4th month now. Just looking at the numbers, I think we've done 659 leads, 169 booked appointments. Now, obviously, there's always a lag in the real estate game, especially in off the plan. How many contracts have you got to date from all those leads and book calls?
Look, from those leads and book calls, I had about 6 or 7. I could have probably had more. I could have probably had at least 10 or more. I just didn't probably have as much time to get, especially with the grants and so many leads coming in. So I think what you promised me, I got double that. So I was getting quite a bit. So I wasn't, and with products being, with the shortage of registered land, it was hard to get as many products out to people. So I was trying to onboard more builders at the same time. So I didn't have the time to capitalise on those leads. But look, it could have been upwards of 10 to 20 potentially if I really tried hard and I had enough time in the day to do it. But I think getting a good solid 6 or 7. A couple of them moved because of COVID, moved jobs, so they had to pull out or whatever. one lost a family member. So I had 5 solid contracts going into Christmas up to 2020, and they've gone unconditional now. So I've so that's been pretty solid. Look, my goal was to do 2 or 3, but to get 5, I was pretty ecstatic. So
that's awesome.
With my resources available to me at the time.
So now you're in month 4. You obviously understand the system and the process really well, because it does take a few months to get used to how we operate, because it is a little bit different. And obviously from your end, you've got your systems really, honed in to the types of leads we're producing for you. What do you feel will be your run rate moving forward? Like, what's your gut feel for the number of sales per month that you'll be making from month 4 forward?
Yeah, look, I've done a bit of planning and strategizing, and I'm meeting a few of my builders and developers. I have been already and will be over the next coming weeks, and they asked the same question. And I come back to our very first conversation where you sat with me, did the spreadsheet, and went through it all. And initially my thoughts were, is this all pie in the sky? Is this true? Can we do this? You're a relatable, nice guy, but at the same time, at the back of my head, I was like, can we really do that? But I think at the time, a lot of your guys and what you were getting pre-COVID or even post-COVID was around 2 to 3 a month deals. And that's what I'm sort of working towards. My very minimum that I think I could do with your marketing is probably 1 a month. I really want to get to sort of 2 or 3 a month is the ideal. Because I've got, I've now had to, because I've been doing well, I've had to expand, and I've got more staff and more agents that are sort of able to feed in. So, look, I think as an individual, 2 to 3. As a group, if I've got other guys with me, probably maybe 5 a month. But I think realistically, at this point in time, the way the leads are going, there shouldn't be any reason to get that I can't do 5 a month with other guys helping me, sourcing products, having time to speak to clients and getting back to them and follow up and all that kind of stuff. So look, if you average between the 1 and the 5, 2 to 3 would be perfect, and I think it's achievable.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, no, 2 to 5 is the average. So I think, you're definitely on track to hit those numbers. And we're scaling, we're helping you scale up your business. Obviously, I don't think you've been doing this too long when we started working together. So obviously you're getting all your systems and your back end sorted as well, which is part of the journey, and optimizing your time. So you're spending your time on high value tasks, not doing everything. So that's really exciting. So if you had, this might be tricky for you, because I know you love to explain things in depth, but I'm going to restrict you here to 10 words. If you had to sum us up in kind of 10 words or less, what would you say about the digital pipeline?
If I'm going to keep it short, don't hesitate, do it. Digital pipeline's been great for my business and can be for others as well. So there's a big pie out there that everyone's entitled to, and there's enough for everyone. So I think don't hesitate. Digital pipeline's been great for my business, as streamlined and made things a lot more efficient for me, and getting runs on the board, getting contracts signed, and wouldn't hesitate in recommending you guys to anyone else who's especially new to the industry or has been in the industry a while and just needs that extra help, or growing their team and need more leads as well. So I can see a view for you guys everywhere. That's about 100 words. Sorry, I try to restrict. That's all right. You can't hold me back. I love talking about you guys, and so a lot of the builders have seen that the quality that we're getting through as well. So they're relying on us moving forward. So it's good partnership.
So a couple of other questions now. So people who are trying to close off the plan leads. Any advice you can give in terms of perhaps how you've changed your sales approach over the last 4 months to closing off the plan leads that have been generated via social media? Maybe one thing that you've learned that would be helpful for other people who are coming in and doing this thing for the first time.
Yeah, just to be yourself and relatable, authentic, honest. People sense that straight away. I think it's a different market that we deal with. The old sales process, the arrogance and the slick salespeople that we used to the industry has a reputation for from the old days. And I'm sure there's people like that now. I find if you relate back to their level, you actually see what the client wants, and see what the problem is that the client has, that they obviously want to live in their dream home or want to have an investment that gets some good returns. That's what we want to deliver, and we want to give them exactly what they're looking for, but give them choice as well, and never be pushy. I found that if you've got a good product and you present it in an honest way and effectively to clients, you're going to have a good outcome. And for me, the thing that I really wanted to bring to the industry is good customer service. So honesty, but also giving good customer service back to the client. So being quick and efficient, planning things well, not being deceptive in any way, and I want to build my business on a referral basis. So I want to be at that point where people will start referring me to their friends and family and go, look, this is a nice, honest guy who has great products. Go and see Meetal. So my one tip would be to present it honestly and good customer service.
Just the basics really, but a lot of people forget. I 100% agree. So you've been focusing a lot on the first home buyers, obviously during the grant period, and we're still doing that right now as we stand in January 2021. What do you believe is the best stock to be selling to first home buyers right now, especially in that Southeast Queensland area?
Yeah, look, the Southeast Queensland area is a booming area, especially compared to Sydney and Melbourne. I think there's a lot of growth. There's some high growth corridors that the state governments ruled out. So like sort of your Logan Reserve, Logan sort of Shire, all the way down to Bow Desert areas, a high growth area. And then with a lot of infrastructure coming in, sort of your Springfield Lakes going west out to Ipswich area. There's a lot of high growth that's happening out there, and if you go out there and have a look at the amount of massive schools, private schools, shopping centres, rail lines that are going in, it's just phenomenal. They look good. They're great master plan communities going in there. And for me, like bang for buck, when you're looking at high 300,000s anywhere in Australia, to 500,000, it's a great area to be. And there's really something for everyone. There's units, townhouses, terraces, there's house and land. So those are two big pockets. I think anywhere in Southeast Queensland is high growth and will be going into the future. And there's so much infrastructure going in, industrial, commercial, just extra runways going to the airports and things like that. Obviously, it's a different topic with COVID at the moment, but we're looking long term. And when things blow over and things change, Southeast Queensland's going to be a force to reckon with. There's a lot of great stuff happening, some really good projects happening as well.
So I'm going to get a bit tougher with you. Let's say because obviously there's a land shortage, and obviously things are coming through the pipeline at different stages. If you could wave a magic wand and get access to one type of stock anywhere in Southeast Queensland, knowing what leads are asking for, what price point and what location would you want to get your hands on? Let's shoot house and land, right?
Yep. House and land at the moment. I think it would be around. Price point would have to be for first home buyers around 450 to 550 in this particular region, but anywhere around Spring Mountain or Pollara. And I know you said one area, but the other area is also up at Sunshine Coast, Aura State. So those three areas are just absolutely crazy. Or anywhere on the north side of Brisbane. Pretty much it's very hard to get stock, and if you do, it sells within 10-15 minutes. So
okay.
Going gangbusters in those areas. I wish I had more.
yeah, I'm sure. All right, so you've used a few marketers in the past. For someone who's out there looking at engaging a marketer, what are, say, the three things you would focus on if you were them in comparing, marketers to marketers in your mind? The three things.
Yeah, look, I think quality of the leads, that's a big thing. Anyone can deliver leads, right? For me, it's the quality. And you're spending a lot more time on a lead that's not of high quality. You've got to be with a marketer that understands the industry, so that has other clients and they've had success with those clients. You get a lot of marketers that are across different industries, and when they're delivering leads, are they is there a feedback mechanism where you can optimize those ads to then get you even better leads? That would be the second big thing. And then thirdly would be, you know, what is it really costing you? Like, when you look at an overall cost, if someone says this is the cost per month, what are you actually getting for your money? So that's the thing, you got to look at it holistically. So with the different marketers, like I said earlier, they didn't do the whole kit and caboodle like what you guys do. So, you know, delivering the leads that are quality, and then having them qualified, having someone calling them many times over, making sure they're qualified and ready to go, and booking in that appointment for me. You know, knowing my calendar, booking it in, and having the sequencing of events afterwards so that they're reminded that I'm going to call. So I find that the clients are more receptive to me if you've gone through that. So I think it's a case of really comparing, in my experience, and looking at different marketers, even ones that I haven't used, is really, are you comparing apples and apples? That's a really big thing. Like, I speak to a lot of people, even other marketers, who just get leads in, and they're just comparing leads. Like, you can't do that. It's how the leads are derived and what's been done with that lead as it's gone through the process to where it's got to me. So I think that's probably the big difference.
Yep, nah, bang on. Couldn't agree with that anymore. Cool. So, any advice to someone who's watching this and sitting on the fence? I don't know. Should I? Shouldn't I? Any advice you'd give to those people?
Yeah, look, I gave it a go initially, with the view to let's have a go and see how it goes. You know, I think you introduced me to some good builders. I think it was a way of paying back anyway. I really wanted to do it regardless. But look, if you trial it for 3 to 4 months, you should get your money back easy. That's not a problem, no brainer, unless you're really terrible at sales. But I wouldn't even call it sales. But if you're really terrible at relating to people and showing them products that might suit their needs, I think it's going to pay for itself anyway. So it's a no-brainer from that perspective. You know, in that period of time, you get one sale that's going to pay itself off. But I think just give it a go, because it will make life a lot easier, and it will streamline the way that you actually market and get leads in. You don't have to then be worried about a good, efficient, consistent lead making mechanism. So yeah, I would probably, I was in that sort of process myself, Fence City. Especially at the time when I first spoke to you, being newer to the industry. I've been in different parts of the industry and development and stuff, but I've never sort of done, you know, what you're sort of generating the leads for. And I was sitting on the fence thinking, you know, that's a lot of money to pay. What if it doesn't happen? And it was more so other people in my ears, and saying, you can do it yourself, Meetal, and you know, that's a lot of money to spend. It's going to take your money and run, and what if they don't deliver the lead? So as much as you come across as a nice guy, it was always at the back of my head, and having that accounting treasury background, I kind of, you know, you do the figures and go, look, that's a lot to spend. It's a bit of a risk, but you know, having done it and taken that risk, or what I thought was a risk at the time, it sort of paid itself off. And yeah, it wouldn't go back now. So it's definitely been the best of the different marketing methods that I've used. So yeah, hoping to have a long-term, you know, relationship with you in terms of working arrangements, and yeah, I hope you don't close down or go anywhere, James. I'm relying on you.
No chance, Meetal, no chance. No, thanks for those kind words. Really appreciate them. We love working with you, and yeah, we can't wait to see what's ahead. So thank you so much for giving us your time today.